This video will quite frankly change your life. And I'm not clickbaiting you or lying. If you're a teenager and you genuinely focus on this video, it will change the whole course of your life. I'll be honest, you're probably wasting your teenage years. Back in caveman times, if during your childhood you couldn't learn how to hunt, make shelter, know which mushrooms were poisonous or not, by the time you're an adult, you would die. And of course this isn't the case in the world that we live in today, but arguably the consequence of wasting your teen years is something just as bad as that, maybe even worse, and that's living a mediocre life. My parents always say, oh, I wish I had studied harder when I was younger, I wish I had learnt that, I wish I hadn't quit, I wish I had learnt the importance of my teenage years. And that's because teenagers are so amazing. I assume that the audience that is watching this are familiar with video games, so I'll use that analogy. Your teenage years are like 10 times XP events. You know, in games like in the weekends you'll have double XP periods. Your teenage years are like that, except they're always on, and it's 10 times XP bonus. 10 times. Not convinced? Just wait. Perfect pitch. You've heard of this, right? The ability to hear a pitch and know what it is. The ability to see pitch like a color. And it's an extremely sought out ability, obviously. It's an amazing flex to your friends, and other than that, it's such an amazing ability to have, whether it's for your musical career or just as an asset. And it was thought that for the longest time, you're either born with it or you're not, but it was recently discovered that you can in fact learn this. The one catch, you have to be below the age of 7. And yes, 7 isn't really your teenage years, but right now, as a teen, it's the best age when you're mature enough to understand and be aware of your actions, and also take practical steps without it being too late for your future. When you're a teen, you can try and fail 10 businesses and lose nothing. In fact, you'll have gained priceless skills of hard work, managing an audience, complaints, etc. Whereas if you're an adult, you'll be homeless, scolded by society, and the consequences would be dire. But of course, I'm not saying to not have fun in your teenage years. In fact, you should. But there's a difference between having fun in your teenage years and destroying your future. Before you jump into the end portal, you'll gear up appropriately, right? Max out all your skills. Before you fight the boss of this level, you want to be prepared, right? And right now the boss is life. And you have 10 times XP, so why are you not making the most of it? So here's what you have to do. Number 1, learn how to do hard things. In Korean, 하기 싫은 걸 해야 돼 means you have to do things that you don't want to do. And this was always drilled into me. I was never allowed to watch the movie adaptations of books before I read them. I wasn't allowed to play games until I finished my homework. And I had to specifically do math problems that I knew I couldn't do, just for the sake of doing hard things. And back then, obviously, I hated this. Who wouldn't? But now I look back with a sense of gratitude. Because for a lot of people, maybe this is you. You don't know how to do hard things. And so you end up not studying for the test because it's hard. You end up not revising because it's difficult and the results aren't dangling in front of you. You'd rather do things such as watch YouTube, play video games, and that's fine. As I said, you should be having fun. But you have to really ask yourself, if the time came when you had to do the hard thing, would you be able to put aside the things that you call fun to do it? Or are the things that are so-called fun actually taking control over you? An actionable step to do right now is to look at one of your tasks you have to do and try and do it. Chances are you'll feel a pull or an urge to switch tabs or to do something else, and that's how you know that you're lacking in this area of doing hard things. Because in the end, if you don't learn the skill of doing hard things, when you jump through the portal into adulthood, you'll never get anywhere, because the only way to find success is to be able to do things that you don't want to do and that are hard. And I talk about this more in this video, which you can check out after this one. Number 2, make some money. This might come as a shock to you. Maybe you thought that all you need to do in your teenage years is just study. That's what a lot of Asian parents say, right? Just study, study, study. But this is just not true, because you're going to be living in a world with other people and you have no choice but to live in this world. And this world isn't just all about studying. Even more important things, including social skills and money skills, exist, so we'll be covering this. The reason that I say make some money is that it teaches you more than you think. Have you made your own money? And I'm not talking about pocket money. Chances are you haven't. Not only does it teach you how to do hard things, manage your time well, social skills, managing a business, and discipline, it also prepares you for the real world and teaches you the value of money. And not to mention the single greatest skill you can acquire, independence. Whether it's starting a business or tutoring someone, walking dogs, try and make your own money. You may think that it's too early for this, But let's say that you do tuition and you like it. It's a good indicator and a good way to see which career paths are suited to you. Or maybe this was really boring to you. You can cross this one out to know which ones you need to focus on. Because figuring this out now instead of the future is so valuable. Because imagine you're at university and you've already chosen. It's too late to turn back and you'll be stuck with this thing you don't want to do forever. As I said before, you have nothing to lose now. Worst case scenario, you leave with no money, but with experience gained. Best case scenario, you become a millionaire teen. Which one seems better? 3. Social skills. Now more than ever, social skills is becoming more and more valuable. Even more than studying your knowledge, etc. Workplaces now test your personality test and something called your EI, your emotional intelligence, to see how well you get on with other people. We live in a social era, and being able to communicate effectively with others will get you through leaps and bounds, because someone who is academically smart but can't fit into society and communicate will quite frankly get outcasted and not be able to show their talent. So how can you improve your social skills? It's to balance studying but also your social life. Sometimes just being aware that you live in this world with other people and thinking about how to interact positively and making friends is all that you need to do, because it's a skill after all. I'd recommend this book if you haven't read it, as it talks about this a lot. But just try and talk to people more, because social skills can be done in joint with number 1 and 2. Maybe by doing tuition. It's hard work, you're making your own money, but you're also talking to a lot of people. And so this is the beauty of it. If you take away one thing from this video, it's this: your teenage years are so valuable and you'll never get them back. Make good memories and have fun, but also make it so that when it's time to enter the portal into adulthood, you're properly equipped. Making money, doing hard things, and social skills are all things that I promise will work miracles for you. Basically, do things that you wouldn't normally do and try new things. It's not too late. Go.